Everyone, welcome. Yeah, we're talking SA20 and we're talking playoffs because that's where it is, business end, and it's that time. First up, though, I've been wondering, last year, semifinals and finals, sort of traditional one plays four and all of that, and then this year, there's been the revamp, hasn't there? And I think it's a good revamp where um, one and two playoff IPL style, right? So um, there is importance in finishing first on the log, particularly in a tournament that's only got six teams. So if you're the best team in the tournament, then you get two chances to get into that final first qualifier, and you go straight to the final if you win that, and then you get another go playing against the winner of the eliminator in a qualifier two to then see if you can get in again or try and get in again, having lost that first one. Makes it more difficult for those that come third and fourth, but it pays the ones who've come first and second for doing so well in the tournament, and makes the round robin stage that much more important. In saying that, had it rained in that last game for Joburg Super Kings, they'd have still got through by virtue of the fact that they'd have had more points. However, it would have been on like two wins and rainouts and three rainouts. That's a bit of a problem for me, and I reckon there is scope and there is good reason to add just one more team to SA20. Not two, because in trying to go for two, I reckon what would happen then is, you dilute a whole lot, right? In terms of trying to find, what is it, sort of 30 players. In fact, 34 squads of 17 and 18, 34, 36. And to keep a sort of quality roster going. At the moment, pretty good teams all around. If you think about it and you think about, even the teams that have failed, and you look at their players, you look at their roster and see who's there, you're thinking, wow, how has this not worked? It was the case last year, thinking about my Cape Town, how have they not been able to put it together? This year they failed to get there again. And in thinking about 1, 2, 3, and 4, many have said actually through the course of this season that whoever finishes fourth could well win the whole thing. Now that seems a bit of a far-fetched thing to say. However, Pretoria Capitals, my Cape Town, those are the two that missed out and were vying for that fourth spot with Joburg Super Kings. Those three teams, all three, are particularly dangerous as sides because all six teams are star-studded. In fact, and might not like me saying this, I think that Sunrisers Eastern Cape is a team who's greater than the sum of its parts, defending champions and kind of getting better and better, and seem to do it the traditional way, if you want to put it that way. They don't play the brand of cricket that all the others do, which is kind of crash, a bang, and wallop. It's quite methodical and a build up to take off, so to speak, at the end of the game in terms of their batting, that is, and then defend, bowl Yorkers, the Bartman, and all of that. So yeah, dangerous team. Whoever finishes fourth, still the same here. If you add a fifth, what it does is it puts the onus on teams and means that you might not. It does. I suppose it doesn't really mitigate it against weather, but you have to win more games because that's the first criteria. How many games did you win in order to, as a separator, that is. I mean, you could still have a scenario where a team has four rainouts, gets 8 points, and then wins a couple of games, and that can obviously still happen. But one more team rather than two, I think, might be an idea in terms of adding to SA20, which has been wonderful, by the way, absolutely magnificent, and I've loved every second of it. Love that it goes right down to the wire, that the last game of the round robin stage allows for Sunrisers Eastern Cape to end up first, which means a great deal. Every single team trying to get there right up until the last game. As far as who's going to win it, whew, I don't know. I don't know who's going to come out of these playoffs. As I think about it, DSG are the team you sort of look at and say, there's the team. But my issue with that, not going just according to players, going according to how these tournaments tend to work out, they're the team that have kind of been playing the best in a star-studded fashion, crash bang wall of fashionable side, the team that you like, the team that does all these wonderful things. They're the team that have gone that way. And those are not normally the teams that win at the end. It's some other team that will win at the end that's kind of built up to the end in the right way and peaks at the right time. So yeah, I can't pick one. I'll go through the teams and tell you what I like about each of them. Bartman, absolutely loved Bartman, and Worrell up at the front for Sunrisers Eastern Cape with the ball, that is, and obviously Bartman at the back end have been fantastic. It's been really good to watch. As I say, traditional sort of display right up at the front in terms of their batting. Look to try and set it up. Yes, use the power play, but don't go crazy. And then in the middle, they seem to, build and build and build. I've absolutely loved the fact that Tristan Stubbs has done that much better this season. He's been good behind the stumps. He's been involved. What's been so great to see is the joy in his face with his celebrations when his mates get wickets, when his team does well. It seems to be loving every second of it. And then, instead of absolutely trying to smash the ball out the ground as he might have done last season, he's just batted. And because he has power anyway, he's been more successful. In fact, quite successful for the team this season. That's been fantastic to see. And then the others, Skipper, think of Marco Janssen as well, heroics from him. They'll need absolutely everybody, and to perform, to win this again and defend their title, they'll need to gel as a team and kind of grind out a victory as a team, as they have done through the season. So yeah, watching them closely. Obviously you watch all the four that have made it through. Topley, Noor Ahmed, Maharaj, Junior Dalla, throw him in there, Van Mulder, Klaasen, Bretsky, that's DSG. They've been something else. How does Klaasen keep smashing them out the ground? I don't know, but he's the man to stop, obviously. And despite, he averaged at some point 16 balls per game, per innings, and still with the 16 balls has managed to have impact. He's struck at over 200. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Throw in young Bretsky, who at the front has given them a good start. Beginning of the tournament, it was just 20s and 30s, but impactful 20s and 30s. And then as the tournament's gone on, he's batted longer and longer and he's got a couple of 70s. And yeah, so looking good on that front. Top leader swing it. I mentioned Junior Dalla because he's been on the field more than he's been off it. Even though not quite in the official capacity of getting a cap, he's been coming onto field as well and fielding pretty well, I might add. So yeah, not sure if there'll be some teams that'll go, I don't know, that's not necessarily fair, because good arm, good fielder, can catch, can run, all of those things, and he's fielding in place of somebody else. Then to the Paarl Royals, who started brilliantly and have got wonderful players. Ngidi and McCoy have been magnificent. Shamsi, good, competitive, and always up in everybody's face and wanting to, win the contest each time. You always want that. And Butler and Roy, Miller as the other, they're a power-packed side. But I think they've been up and down. I wonder if they can absolutely turn it on as they turn up at this critical time, and if they can do the 3 on the bounce and win the title. Not so sure. Wouldn't count them out ever because they're such a good side. But they did take a pasting at the hand, doubly so, at the hands of DSG, and it seemed to derail them a great deal. They'll have to kind of wake from their little slumber, I'd say, if they are to win this as well. If any of the sides, I suppose, are able to kind of press reset, that's what ideally you'd want, with the day's rest, hardly any, to then kick into gear and get going. Let's see if they can do that. JSK are dangerous. When I think of them, King Williams, yes, wickets all the way through. Nandre Burger, love him. Since the beginning of the season, make your international debut, all 3 formats of the game, turn up at SA20, and he bowls gas. And his left arm as well. So there's another one for South Africa. And yeah, wonderful to watch. In the bowling stakes, yeah, fine. But can they put a score on the board? The fact that they get themselves into the playoffs by breaking a record never before in the 2 seasons, it's only second season, of SA20, had more than 200 been chased down. And they did it needing to do so to win, to get into the playoffs. And as a bonus, it's a big bonus, I tell you, they get to play at home. So Eliminator and Qualifier 2 are in Johannesburg. So you've got to go into the Super Kings, the Lions' Den, the Bull Ring, to beat them, and they'll be just at home. So that's a big boost as far as I'm concerned, and that's what makes them really dangerous. Yes, the final is in Cape Town, but if they can get through those 2, have a day's rest, travel, and then play in the final, hey, what they have as memories of Cape Town is them keeping their tournament alive. Remember that 8-over bash that they won, and goodness, they won it in like 5 overs or whatever it was. So yeah, Duplessis, Duploy, looking rather good. Madsen, yeah, decentish side, dangerous side. They're the ones who everybody will be fearing, and they'll be the ones who have finished first and second will hope that Paarl Royals can take care of them, and would rather play, the other ones rather than the ones who are supposed not to have made it. To pick a champion, pretty difficult. I'm not going to do it either. I'm going to do it after I know who's in the final. Can you pick one early? Not so sure. Okay then. Right, on to the playoffs and enjoy them. This has been fantastic. It's like I don't want it to stop. I wanted to keep going this competition. Already I'm saying I can't wait till next year. Not yet time to say that though. Let's see how these playoffs go. Catch you next time.